There's another way people need to be looking at this. And I've been talking about this for years. Okay. And we've been learning new aspects about this that give us new ideas about where this can go and draw us a little bit closer to thinking that it could actually happen. I'm telling you, it looks like they're trying to bring them to the table, right? But here's the thing. A lot of these articles, and I'm telling you, I try to be careful. I can't tell others what to think, not financial advice. But a lot of these articles I feel like they're pushing people to concentrate only on the short term. Let's say this happens. This is what the article is titled, How High Can XRP Price Go If Swift Integrates with Ripple This Week? Look how they phrase it. A lot of these articles lately are really trying to gear people's minds toward the short term. Like, what's that price right now if it explodes right now? And a lot people can do what they want, but that's not where my mind is. Not at all. What's going to happen let's say they did integrate with Swift. Let's play that game. The price will skyrocket, no doubt about it. Be delicious. Some profit necessary to take, for sure. I know people are going to think like that, for sure. But when it comes to something like this, what really their story is behind it. It's deeper than that. Don't look at the surface. Swift and XRP or integration, that's the surface of the lake. Look below the lake. There's something below it, right? Number one, in the long term, they're not going to start all at once. Mostly the news is what's going to make it explode immediately. And that's what these articles are gearing people towards, taking that profit immediately. Get in there, boom, the price explodes, XRP skyrockets, the price skyrockets just off the news alone, because it would. People take profit, they're out of there. Okay, cool. Do what you want. But they're not starting all at once. That's not even from the utility. Give it a few months, a year. They're not going to go all at once onto the XRPL. They're going to drip feed it. This is what they do with everything. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. And they just flood XRP all at once. That's no. When has that ever happened? With any system, they started out small. It's like a test. They start out small. It's like turning the water back on at your house or something like that. Now, somebody could just twist the knob all the way. That's not advised. But you turn it on nice and slow to not bust the pipe. They drip feed it. Over time, that price goes up a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, until it's at maximum capacity, which will be done quietly. Yes, the information will be put out. It would be buried. I've seen so many things over these last few years buried. Sometimes they even delete a URL. They delete the paperwork. It was out there. It's not out there anymore. I've seen it. But it would be buried. But you would still be able to find it. At some point, it would be released. But only the most wise and active-minded would see it. But that price the catalyst would be there before the price explodes. They would give a timeline and some paperwork somewhere, 70, 80 pages, something like that. And they would say something akin to, this is our timeline. This is when we plan to start this and how we think it's going to go. And even if they don't put a timeline, just by them showing you the steps, you can then deduce, okay, they're at this step. And then when they enter the next step, then that's the final phase. And you can draw your own timeline, right? And then know when that maxed out XRP price would occur. If this did happen. And if you were one of those people that will have any XRP left by the time it gets to that point. Most people won't. That's okay. And that's fine. That's okay. Everyone must do what's best for them. Understand that. All right. So now that's one aspect. One. See how it got we just got a little bit deeper. Just a little bit. Another thing that will add to that price that people are not taking into account. Swift. All of those banks connected in the Swift system. I beg your pardon. Dry throat. The business connections that will be established if the XRPL, Ripple, or any of those companies pushing XRP were to work with Swift to any capacity, the business connections, the partnerships that will be made afterwards will be astronomical. Astronomical. And there is no telling how many different ways that the XRPL or XRP will be utilized by those companies. And then once you put the infrastructure in their hands, wish the desk was up there a little bit more so I could make that sound, but it's like it'll look cooler if my fingers were up here, like, but here, those little details matter. Once you put the infrastructure in their hands, they do what they want with it. If they want to hold, they can hold some. If they want to offer XRP to their employees or whoever and say, here, you do this service, we give you a little XRP, we'll hold it for you. They're obviously going to take a percentage off of whatever XRP rises to in price. You think staking is not going to come to the XRPL? Somebody somewhere is not going to. Every one of these utility coins will have every capability. Every capability. When Ripple said they want to maximize the value of XRP, one, that was them. They said that. Then SBI, before them, SBI said they were looking at a way for their clients to increase the value that they can gain from XRP. That's two. Why were they all saying that in the span of just 5 months? In what ways do you perceive that they could possibly add to the XRPL to maximize all this value? There's going to be lending. There's going to be staking, delegating, all types of things are going to happen. Even if they do it in private ecosystems, like I said, they don't have to do it like everyone else. They don't. There's no rules. Not in the way that we are traditionally thinking about rules. There's rules, there's regulations. I'm not talking about in that way. The possibilities, the possibilities right now are endless. If they can pull this off. And if they pull that off, it would be major. So, business connections, partnerships, new ways to implement the utility of the XRPL, XRP, or any of these bank coins, Chainlink, Solana, Hedera, whatever, XLM, whatever. Any of these companies get that opportunity. The iron will never be hotter for them to strike. Those are just two aspects I'm looking at. Two. Now, if they did, I always said, I was asked the question, do you not believe the XRPL could take 1,000 banks? 1,000? Doesn't Swift have over like 10,000 banks? How many banks are there globally? Globally. Wait a minute. We're just looking at the main banks. We're not even taking into account the branches. The branches. And the branches will utilize those same systems. The branches will use DLT. The banks from top to bottom are looking at DLT and salivating. 100%. You got to go read that stuff. You have to read these articles. Well, you don't have to. Somebody's like, I don't have time for that, bitch. That's why I come to you. Well, then I'm trying to tell you. But you can always just go read the stuff yourself. The banks have to cut how much they're spending. They have to. They don't have to cut how much they're spending. They're banks. Then you're not looking at the evidence that's there. Why do you think they're closing all these different branches? They're closing branches all the time. They have to cut it. They can save so much using DLT. They know that. Why do you think Bank of America? Go Google, type in something like this, Bank of America problems 2025. Then go and type in Bank of America problems 2024 and just look at the list of problems they have. Yeah, it don't matter. It doesn't matter so much if you're the biggest bank if you got 1 billion problems. And including the problem of the overage fees that they had to go to court for. Guess what would have solved that? And they know this too as well. They know this. Guess what would have solved that problem? Smart contracts. Smart contracts in combination with AI and DLT technologies. That would have solved that problem. They wouldn't be in court. They wouldn't be losing. You think they don't want to prevent that in the future? Same company that's been praising XRP and XRPL since I arrived here 4 years ago. They know. You think that though, there's a few of them that are mixed in to Swift. You believe that they haven't tried to utilize their influence to have this system utilized that's going to benefit them all? That they could dominate. That's another thing people aren't taking into account. So remedies, solutions for existing problems. That's another thing that's going to help it thrive in this system. This system has so many problems, even as just banks individually, because yes, we could look at Swift in its totality, but if we look at Swift as the individual entities that they are, whoa, then it's just like, mind blowing. And there's and everything I say. Sometimes I talk about the catalyst, and I think sometimes people forget those catalysts are tied to value. But I don't feel like I need to always say that. There's a lot of value tied to these things. Now, that made me forget what I was about to say. I had something else. I got a lot of stuff, I'm telling you. So remedies, solutions, I think I was on that pathway of thinking. There's so many different ways. So looking at them as individuals. Okay, so now, so we're in 10 minutes. Let's scroll down here and see what else they have to say here. XRP price in focus amid potential SWIFT partnership. Yeah, but why? Listen, I've been saying I believe they're trying to bring them to the table. I can't say that they are. They're like, this is about to be a partnership. Businesses attempt different things. Sometimes they're successful at that attempt, sometimes not. I'm just going to wait and see. But yes, do I believe they're attempting? Ripple is attempting to force Swift's hand? Yes, I do. Yes, I do believe that. But I probably wouldn't go as far as this title says. It makes it seem like they're about to do something like right now. Could it happen? Yes. But do I think it's going to happen right now? I don't know. I just be plain and honest. I'm old enough to do that. I'm at the point in life where I'm just like, I don't know. I'm going to speak on something if I know something about it. But if I don't know something about it, I'm just going to keep my mouth closed. My father used to tell me that. But anyway, he used to say something akin to this. He used to say, never assume, right? And I feel like with research, that's not what we're doing. We're looking at catalysts and we're considering possibilities. But if we don't have any catalysts, I don't have any real open reason, then I would consider that an assumption. But anyway, that makes what I'm about to say work, right? They're like, Mick, I don't agree with that, Mick. It makes this work, okay? Play along with it. It's YouTube. But he used to say something akin to this, and it stuck with me. He used to say, son, don't ever assume. If you do, you make yourself the first 3 letters of the word. And I was young back then. Dad, my father was keeping it real. It says, quote, if Ripple partners with Swift for cross-border payments. See, wait, stop. Hold up. Wait a minute. Let me put some alphaneme in it. Hold on. See, cross-border payments. Listen, I was talking to somebody about this the other day. That's that you have like these blinders on. You're looking at this one aspect, this one dimensional. No disrespect. This one dimensional way of thinking. Listen, Ripple can do all payments. They specialize in everything. They beat Swift at everything. They beat the financial system at everything. Look at the data. Folks, the legacy system itself, I've read the articles to you. You can go read them yourself. The legacy system has been complaining about itself, how slow they are, missing payments, lack of technology. They can't afford to do anything. They can't even afford to upgrade. Those penalties are about to rock their noodle top in November. They can't even, they're struggling. Ripple can do it all. They can do payroll. They can do the regular retail cross-border. They can do B2B. They can do interbank payments. Why not say interbank payments here? It's a bunch of banks, but you don't. Wait, hold on. Let me go down. If Ripple partners with Swift for cross-border payments, that's where they want your mind focused on that. The blockchains will be accessed by top global financial institutions globally. They used to talk so much about interbank payments. Private ledger. Why not mention that? Are you going to say that they're not capable of interbank payments any longer? That's trillions. That's the consistent money. I'll take interbank payments over cross-border any day. Look at the value. They need upgrades. They need a new system. They don't want to listen. Let's keep it going. So Anyway, we'll keep an eye on this. We'll see what happens. We're going to keep an eye on this. Let's go here, okay? I was supposed to cover, I think I did cover gold in the last video. I believe I did. Now, let's cover this a little bit of Bitcoin news. Bitcoin acting really, quote, notably different from prior market pullbacks. You don't say, really, you don't say. Wants to go higher if macro obstacles are removed. This is coming from the Bitwise CIO. Notably different. What do you mean by that? Let's find out. Let's find out what it means. Scroll down here. Bitwise Chief Investment Officer Matt Hogan said Bitcoin is performing, quote, notably different, unquote, from prior market pullbacks, noting that Bitcoin has been flat over the past month. It happens. We've been through hell before. This isn't it. Right? And is acting like an asset that wants to go higher. Why is that? You know why. You know why. Wants to go higher if only macro obstacles would get out of the way. Well, listen, like I said, I have people that keep me up to date. This is what they do. You know, like I said, I know one person that's commodities is what they do. Right. So I do a lot with commodities, but that's their specialty. They come to me and they say, oh, I'll make this and that. And another person, of course, there's always that one in the group in politics. They're going to keep you updated. You know how this goes. Everybody has these different personalities in the groups you associate with. So they keep me up to date. Now, if this is accurate, what they're telling me, then we'll see if it's accurate or not. How many countries are trying to negotiate with the U.S.? This is what they say. I don't know. Listen, I'm just trying to capitalize on these things here. How many? Like I said, they all need each other. I just think it's logical. They all need each other. This one needs to sell to that one or they don't have a customer. That one needs the cheap stuff from this one because their people are addicted to it. Their companies need the cheap stuff from over here. They don't want to compete. Why do I say that? Because years ago, when you had the rise of I'm going to say it again. Yes, this is relevant. The Temus and the Sheins, it brought a lot out. You had representatives of the big businesses come out and complain about wholesalers going directly to customer. Now, who do you think customers, and although customers, they would like to pretend like they want to shine. Look at how much this costs. Look at it. My shirt costs $5,000. My pants cost $1,000. My belt costs $5 million. I'm just kidding. But this is how people pretend like they want to be. But let's be realistic. When you look at the numbers, and I say that to make a point here, who do you think they're going to go to? The big companies that are charging you an arm and a leg, or directly overseas, a wholesaler? You can get this belt for $2, $5. And so what happened? We discovered the answer. They were all going to Shein and Temu and ordering from other not popular sources. And we got complaints from the big money in the industry, didn't we? Yes, we did. Yes, we did, because they were getting undercut, kneecapped. So a lot of that's happening right now because certain information was released, and whether it's true or not, it was very influential. So people are now more than ever going directly to the source for things. And that must be remedied. So once again, what are we hearing? We're hearing the big business complain. And the big business has money, 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 money. Money. Money, 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 money. Some people got it. Now, that's old school. You look that up on YouTube Music or Apple Music, or what's the other one? Spotify. That's a good one right there. That money song can get you right here. Now, after I just blessed you with my melodious voice, no, damn, well, you know that was a good performance. Let's stop playing around and know my voice was, you know that was a good, oh yeah, you sing it. Oh, go ahead, sing it. All right, I'm not gonna lie, you did okay. You might have done okay. Some of you stayed quiet now. Come on now, you got to participate. But now, getting back to serious business, they're starting to complain again. So now with all that money being thrown around, trust me, everyone's trying to get back to the table. That money moves everything. It's the way that it is here on earth at this time. Not with me. Not with me. No. I'm not superficial like that. My mind is in a different place. I like to collect wisdom. Anyway, that money is going to make people come to the table. I could be wrong sooner rather than later. When that happens, folks, a tsunami will be unleashed. A tsunami will be unleashed. You understand the endorphins that will be released from people's minds? Because, endorphins, happy hormones, will be released from people's minds. That gasp of relief, whether you're a company or individual, the individual who can now buy what they want. Maybe the prices are even a little bit better. The companies that can get back to business, their business isn't being harmed, right? Because right now there is damage, but I don't think it's irreparable damage. I don't think so. There will be a flood of capital. And I just don't see how new avenues are not opened up if everybody is forced to come to the table. New avenues will open up. So now, once again, this also plays into the utility coin thing. So yes, Bitcoin, it would be a major catalyst if that happens. I just don't see how it doesn't happen. A flood of capital could potentially come into Bitcoin in the future time. We just have to keep our eyes on it and see what happens. But also utility coin wise, there was something I was going to say. This leads into that. There's an aspect of this that touches utility coins. Oh, to be able to establish whatever deals are cut, if that actually happens, regulations that need to be followed. Everybody's retooling regulations. How do you keep up with that? How do you make sure this one here is obeying that one here is regulations as they sell across the world? Oh, that's what I was going to say. Global reach. This is going to give crypto the global reach it needed across the board, from Bitcoin to utility coins. Make no mistake about it. They're going to need something neutral in the middle to make sure everybody plays fair. There's transparency across the board. AI is checking everything like a 24/7, 365 security guard or guard. And smart contracts are making sure every regulation is followed. And all the money that's supposed to go here is gone here at that particular time and not otherwise. Hey, there's a lot of big catalysts out there. Bitcoin is super bullish, but it's not just Bitcoin. Once again, the crypto across the board, those top cryptos are super bullish across the board. It's not all of crypto. It's those top cryptos are super bullish across the board. All right. That's what I'm seeing for now. If it changes later, I'll say different later, but that's what I'm seeing right now. And I could be wrong, not financial advice. All right. So now, let's close out with a little bit of this is a little bit of Solana news. Okay. All right. So now let me just get a little swig of water. It's a little swig. Come on now. Your mouth. I know your mouth got dry. You got your water there. I hope you're drinking some water. Stay hydrated. No, not health advice. It's not health advice. Got to be safe. A little water. Wait, let me get another one. That was nice. Oh, that was water ever hit your throat and it's like, oh man, this is a real gift. I'm dead serious. 2 times that happens now in my older years. And when I was a hardcore athlete, you sweating all over the place. And the workout room, they turned it up to 110 degrees. Yeah, right. Cause you're trying to sweat and make weight. And then you get to that water fountain. It's like a divine gift, right? All right. So let's put the water down. So, Solana. Oh, I didn't use up I got like a couple minutes left. First spot Solana ETFs to hit Canadian market this week. Really? There's a lot happening. I can't keep up with everything. Thank goodness there's a lot of researchers out there now. We all cover different stuff. So now, Canada has approved 4 spot Solana ETFs with staking, beating the U.S. to market access. The ETFs launching Wednesday on Toronto Stock Exchange come from Purpose, Evolve, CI, and 3iQ. U.S. issuers like Grayscale and Fidelity remain stuck in SEC review, while only Solana futures ETFs trade. Futures ETFs trade with low volume. All right, so there you go, folks. We got a lot happening. All right, so I'm going to leave it there for today. Now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, everybody, let's get to Ooh. Oh, you thought I glitched out. No, I didn't. No, I'm right here. Let's get to the money.